Hi there, it's me, Egil Thorsson, and I've got a folk tale for you. At least I hope you have. I've been looking through. Oh, Bragi!
Oh, hello, Egil. I didn't see you there.
Wow.
Oh, I've just been down the longhouse.
By Odin, what have you been eating?
Oh, they had a massive roast, but I think the pig was a bit off. And it's really affected my stomach. Oh, I've had terrible wind, Egil.
Go and stand over there.
No, I'm going to sit down. No, I'm not going to stand. Does that remind you of a story?
Yeah, quite a few actually, but the one I'm going to tell you is from Italy.
Ah, buongiorno.
See, it's about Miss North Wind and Mr. Zephyr. If you could control your bowels from... Right. It so happened that in many years ago, again in the land of Italy,
See.
Miss North Wind sat in her house and she was thinking, I'm bored, I need a distraction, I need a husband. Now, it's not as easy as you think. She's a puff of wind, and wind comes in many forms, as we well know.
Oh, yes.
Now, she sat and she thought, I know, there's Mr. Zephyr. He'd be okay. And off she went. Put on her favourite dress, lots of jewellery, had her hair plaited, lots of gold rings and perfume, and off she went. Mr. Zephyr was sitting outside his house minding his own business. Near looked, oh, here we go. Now, Mr. Zephyr wasn't that interested in women. Just, not that he had any other predilections, he just wasn't really that bothered. Hello, darling. What do you want? I want to get married. And he said, no. Pardon? No, I don't want to get married. Go away. She thought, well, that was a good start, wasn't it? Why not? I have got a lot of money. You, not a thing. So, get back to your windy little cave. Leave me be. Well, she thought, I'm flogging a dead horse here. What can I do? I know, she said. And she blew. And she blew. And for 3 days, 3 nights she blew. She sent snow everywhere. And for another 3 days she got it till it's freezing cold. She then went back to Mr. Zephyr. Hey, this is my dowry, all the beautiful silver. I've got to rest. And she went home and she went to bed. Mr. Zephyr, he started blowing. And he made it hot, 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 and melted all the snow, and it all disappeared, by which time, after 6 days, 3 nights, Miss North Wind went up, and he said, do you want to marry me now? He says, no, I don't want to marry you. After all that treasure I laid down, you squandered it in a day. Forget it. And off she went home, and the two never married. That basically is my story about wind.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, a little less noxious than yours.
I know, well, I can't help it, you know. You go to a bigger longhouse for a feast. Why weren't you there, Uncle? They give you free pork and, you know.
Just as well, isn't it? Two of us banging away like that.
Blimey, trousers. Couldn't imagine that. But let's just, before we end this video, let's talk about how in the old days you would get married, but in today we would go dating, and how does it compare?
You got me worried for a bit there. I thought we were going to talk about wind. Yes, it was traditional. Well, I think we get a misrepresentation of Viking courting techniques. The woman was allowed to choose her husband.
Oh.
She looked there and thought he was okay. He was not allowed to write poems, he wasn't allowed to sing to her or give her gifts, because all of these could conceal spells.
Oh.
Now, you know as well as I do,
Indeed.
She gets married.
Yes.
And instead of Brad Pitt, he's more like Armpit.
Armpit, I've heard about him.
Yeah. Marriage is like a Christmas present. It's beautifully wrapped with a ribbon on it and a nice card. You undo it and wrap the paper carefully, and what's inside? A pair of old socks. So, divorce. Yes, the women could divorce quite honourably, and the way they would do it, the man would show his arms, undo his skirt to show his hairy chest, go to the marketplace, and she'd go, I divorce thee, I divorce thee, I divorce thee. Job's a good one. Everything's split down the middle. She takes the children, he pays for them, and nothing is thought any the worse of it. Another thing she could do is she could pop on a set of clothes of her husband's, and her husband could put on her clothes. Go down the market, the priest would have apoplexy because they didn't go a bundle on men dressed as women. Don't ask me why. And it would be an automatic divorce. Now,
less messing about.
Yeah, well,
quick.
Yeah, but I know what you're thinking, but we can't say it.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. No, I was actually thinking about, well, you know, there you are, you're a Viking warrior. You know, you just become a man and you want to settle down. How do you find a wife? I mean, today in the modern world, you go on Tinder. Hello there, ladies, and you'll swipe left or right to whoever you like or don't like.
It would depend on your station. If you're wealthy like we are,
indeed,
you would get so much money and you would be a viable catch. You go and you say, I want to marry you. You go to the prospective bride's father and say, look, I want to marry your daughter. A union of our two families would be good. And by the way, here, look, I've got all of this. You can have that.
Can you explain what a dowry is and how that is used?
It's, well, in Viking times it would be called the Morgengaben.
Yeah, the Morgengaben, yes.
The morning gift.
Yes.
Now, say I want to marry your daughter.
Yes, there you go.
I would give you silver, furs, the wealth. And you'd say either no or...
more.
Yeah. Or you'd say, yeah, she's happy with that, and I'm happy with that. And we then would be giving her mead every day for a month. This is where you get honeymoon from, because it was believed that the honey in the mead would make her more fertile. Wish bang boz, out comes a little Egil, or an egglet. And everyone will be happy, presumably. I would, as I'm not giving birth.
Indeed.
But tradition, and after the honeymoon, the wedding night, I'd give her a gift, maybe some beads or whatever, and that would be my Morgengaben, my morning gift. Is to say thank you for having me, so to speak. And later on, when the Christians came, what happened was, say you're the father of the house, you would marry your daughter in the old pagan faith. The Christians come. And he thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to have a bit of Christian blessing? You go to the church door, and the padre had come out and he'd do what he does, and you'd be happy with that. And then later on, you'd go down the aisle and eventually end up in front of the altar, like people do today, some people. And that would then, the priest would take over from the father instead of the priest. Because something people don't understand is every household, the father was the priest. And yeah, for later ceremonies, when things got a bit more intense, yeah, you'd have a Vidki or Gothai, which is a priest. Classic case is the 9-year blood feast at Uppsala, where 9 of every male would be slaughtered in honour to the gods, and the bodies hung up in the trees, apart from the horses, which of course will be eaten. On the way that you display it, you put the flayed skin of the horse on the gable of your roof. And that meant Bragi's house, there's lots of food, so you go and have a munch there. When it's done, you take it down, go to the next one, and until all the flesh is eaten, which is a way of using up the flesh other than throwing it away. So that's basically courtship. The woman, of course, if she didn't like the person concerned, could say, no, I don't want to know. I'll wait for something better. And you couldn't force the issue.
Oh, there you go. So, I think we learnt something there, folks. A little bit of extra bonus lesson there at the end of this folk tale. We do like to teach, don't we, Egil?
Certainly do.
And I think it's time to wrap this video up. It's time to say goodbye.
Bye.
And don't forget, what should they do, Egil?
Hashtag
Folktales.
Folktales.
And leave a comment.
We certainly do. We will get back to you. It does take us a while because there's so many, but we will, honest.
Well, some days I can reply within a couple of seconds, and some days it can be a couple of days. It depends how busy I am. So, there's that for you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye now.